we just gonna get straight into it today. We're gonna be literally talking about why JoJo Part 1 is underrated. Because I feel like JoJo Part 1 and 2 really get a lot of hate, but I feel like Part 1 really gets the hate for no reason. I feel like the reason why Jonathan doesn't get respect is because I guess he's too nice or something. But honestly, I like the fact that he was real nice, because all the JoJos are like got that little mean or edgy thing to him. But I actually like Jonathan for him being who he is and being classy, because he's a millionaire and all that. And I also feel like Herman is kind of underrated also. Like, come on now, y'all can't lie and say that power was not hard in Part 1 and 2. Come on now, this is the first time we meet Dio. Come on now, Dio in Part 1 was goated. I fuck with Dio in Part 3 also. But Dio in Part 1, it was just something about him that really made me hate him. The things he did to Jonathan made me hate him so much. And that's what made Dio a good character, a good villain. Because the simple fact of the things he did to make you hate him. You'd be like, yeah, he's definitely a villain and I hate him and I want him to lose in Part 1. In Part 3, I still feel the same way. But he doesn't have that much of an impact on the story like Part 1. And don't forget, this is where we meet Speedwagon, where we see Herman, where we first see the relationship between JoJo and Speedwagon and all that. And I feel like the hate is because there's no stands in it. I feel like that's really what the hate is, because honestly, I fuck with stands. But when I first seen Herman, I thought that shit was cool as hell. Because honestly, Herman is cool as hell. Like, stands are really cool, but Herman really set the stage before stands. And also, just the pure storytelling of JoJo Part 1 was honestly good. I enjoyed literally every part of it. Now, I felt like some parts did drag out a little bit, but I felt like Part 1 ended perfectly. I felt like, Jonathan holding Dio and basically just talking to him, that was a top tier ending. Like, come on now. Like, I feel like when it comes to endings, a lot of people want that big bang or whatever for an ending, but I honestly enjoyed the little smooth sadness of Jonathan passing away and holding Dio. So yeah, honestly, I really don't get the hate for Part 1. I guess because the pace is not as fast as other JoJo parts, and also I feel like because Jonathan is a gentleman, I have to go back to that, because I felt like because Jonathan is a gentleman, they'd be like, oh well, he's boring and this and that. He really set the standard for JoJo's. The only thing is the JoJo's didn't take that advice, and I don't see nothing wrong with being a gentleman at all. Like, I really don't see the problem. And again, I'm not even saying JoJo Part 1 is like the best, but I will say it's definitely slept on, and it definitely gets the hate for no reason. I felt like when people go into JoJo, the first thing they see is stands, and they be like, oh, where's the stands at in Part 1 and 2? And it's like, bro, give it time. Because again, Herman is not a bad power. Like, it's not a bad power at all. And I felt like people rush into it because they see other people post about stands and Jotaro and all that, and don't give Part 1 a chance. They just be like, man, this jump sucks or whatever, for no reason, because of the internet and because of what they see. If you really take the time out to watch JoJo Part 1 and don't think about stands and all that, you'll enjoy it like I did. Because I went into JoJo blind, didn't even know anything about JoJo. And I really enjoyed Herman in Part 1 and 2. And I felt like they could have used Herman more, even with stands coming in. But yeah, I just felt like the disrespect to Part 1 should stop. Stop. Let's be honest. Let's stop. Let's really stop the hate for Part 1. Part 1 is really underrated. All the other parts, they get the respect, but Part 1. And again, it shouldn't be disrespected. But that's gonna do it for the video, you guys. I hope you enjoyed. This is basically my little TED talk, because I felt like Part 1 just be getting a little bit too much disrespect. It's crazy how much disrespect it gets. So I hope you enjoyed. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, follow my social medias, links in the description, and I'm out.